Now you may be asking, what the fuck is a Captain Rainbow? Captain Rainbow was a 2008 game for the Wii that only released in Japan. It was developed by the same people who made the Chibi Robo games, Skip Limited, and was published by Nintendo. For various reasons I'll go over, the game was never localized in any other country, and has never had a re-release of any kind. I first found out about Captain Rainbow around 8 or 9 years ago from either a YouTube video on it, or a Wikipedia article about games that were never localized. As soon as I saw the premise of the game, I knew I wanted to play it, but the problem was the Wii was region locked. Even if I could play the game though, I still wouldn't be able to understand any of it since it was in Japanese. Still wanting to play the game though, I managed to mod my old Wii and bought a used copy of the game from Amazon. Since I still couldn't read any of the dialogue, I ended up playing it using a guide. Was it any good though? I don't know, it was years ago. Now with the English patch available today, I think it's time to take a look at what's probably the weirdest game Nintendo has ever published, Captain Rainbow. The game opens with the main protagonist Nick describing how he was once a superhero named Captain Rainbow. Using the powers of yo-yoing, he was able to stop the bad guys in America, and all the children used to love him. No, not that way. Over time though, he became overshadowed by newer and cooler superheroes and eventually faded into irrelevancy. With nothing left to lose, his only hope is to make it to the mythical Mimmin Island to hopefully grant his wish of becoming a superhero again. But before his raft can make it to the island, he spots a rabbit-looking thing in the water drowning. Going back to his hero instincts, he decides to try and save the creature, only to remember his one weakness is fucking water of all things. Thankfully though, he washes up with the creature on the shore of the island, all safe. Then, out of nowhere, the creature rips its damn ears off to form a magical bracelet and gives it to Nick as a gift for saving it. But uh-oh, his friends managed to take the rainbow belt that lets him transform into Captain Rainbow, and he needs to transform into Captain Rainbow to get off the island because Nick can't do anything unless he's Captain Rainbow because Captain Rainbow has all the powers. So after dicking around on the Fortnite island for a while, you make it to this one woman named Hikari's house, who gives you an exposition dump about the creatures called the Mimmin.
Whether we wanted it or not.
Apparently, you're the chosen one and were tasked with granting the wishes of others on the island. I guess nobody else can get off their ass and grant wishes, so it's up to you. So after using your bracelet to open a mysterious door on the other side of the island, you finally get your belt back and are able to begin helping others around the island. Captain Rainbow plays kinda like a point-and-click adventure game mixed with an action game. As Nick, you can walk around the island, use the B button to charge into things, and point and click on different aspects of the environment to solve puzzles and earn collectibles. You can also transform into Captain Rainbow if your power meter is full, which allows you to open certain doors, use your yo-yo to attack things, and have a stronger charge. If you let your power meter fully deplete though, you die, so you need to carefully consider when you use it or eat fruits to refill it. There's also a day-night cycle on the island that only allows certain actions to take place at certain times. The gameplay loop is to collect 20 mini-stars around the island that turns into one giant star at nighttime. Mini-stars can be collected by exploring the island, playing mini-games, and completing the islanders' various side quests. Once you obtain a giant star, you can take it to the edge of the island with an islander of your choice, avoid the enemies along the path, and grant their wish. Granting a wish also allows the recipient to leave the island permanently. Every island goer is a character from an older Nintendo game that was forgotten about or only appeared in a few games. They all came to the island to make their own wishes come true, but ultimately got stuck there since no one could grant them. Starting with the characters they don't give a shit about, there's the previously mentioned Hikari, who was first in this. Her wish is for you to fulfill all the other islanders' wishes, and for her to get off the island. She also acts as a guide and gives you walls of text about the history of the island. Next is Mappo the robot from another one of Skip's games, Gift-Pia. As the island's sole police officer, his wish is to become a real detective somewhere in the world. He's also the start of one of the wildest quest lines in any game, but fuck Mappo for now.
Let's go golfing! Tell him to bring the yacht out!
Osan the golfer from Big Surprise Golf came to the island in order to become the world's best golfer. While most people thought the guy in golf was just Mario, he was actually just some random middle-aged guy. Being one of the characters that allows you to play a minigame, he of course lets you
go golfing.
In the golf minigame, you try to help Osan perfect his aim by hitting different targets in front of a golf net. He also likes to play with his balls. Then there's Crazy Tracy from Link's Awakening, who probably also likes to play with balls. Her wish is to enslave all men, and if you're expecting me to make the typical YouTuber horny joke and say I'd grant her wish, you can leave the video now, you absolute degenerate. Crazy Tracy's main crush is Takamaru from the mysterious Marasame Castle, otherwise known as that one game that Nintendo Land minigame is based on. He's also the Sigma male of the game. His wish is to not fumble every time the baddies come around, and his minigame involves you pressing different buttons on the Wii remote so he doesn't get a nosebleed talking to women. The one person he probably wouldn't get a nosebleed talking to is Lip from Panel to Pawn, since she's underage. Unless Lip's wish is to get over her allergies so she can tend to her garden without sneezing constantly. Lip honestly isn't all that interesting. Next. The devil from Devil World hides in the outskirts of the map, wishing to become the best villain in hell. He tries to achieve this by minorly inconveniencing those on the island, and he's also not that interesting of a character. Again, next. The Famicom War Soldiers exists in the game and want to become the best volleyball players in the world. Living in a treehouse like Nam, they practice. What the fuck? Living in a treehouse like back in Nam, they practice every day to try and better themselves at the sport. You can play the volleyball minigame to try and help them, but one fuck up and you have to wait an entire in-game day to try again. From Chibi Robo, Tao the dog and Drake Redcrest are also on the island. Tao doesn't do much, but his wish is to never run out of food since he's always hungry. As for Drake, he crash lands on the island and loses the engine to his ship. His wish is to discover the truth behind good and evil. Birdo the dinosaur thing from Super Mario Bros. 2.
Super Mario Bros. 2 again, baby!
Or that other game that people won't shut up about. Did you know that Mario 2 was actually— Yes! Everybody knows, dipshit! Anyway, her side quest involves freeing her from jail after being caught using the women's restroom by Mappo. This is in reference to the fact that Nintendo could never decide if Birdo was a man or a woman. Now, if this was released today, there would be a shitstorm of complaints on the internet. But it was 2008 in Japan, so literally no one cared. So how do you go about proving her innocence? Well, you go to her house and find her vibrator. Yes, this is an actual sentence describing what you do in a Nintendo-published game.
Oh my fucking god, this game is trash.
Oh my god!
Shit's going down!
Oh my god! Really?
You then take her vibrator to Mappo, who's embarrassed, and releases her.
What the fuck?
The last and by far best character in the game is Little Mac, because Punch-Out is a banger game. He came to the island to grant his wish of becoming less fat and rejoining the WVBA.
Look how they mess with my boy.
To help Little Mac get back in shape and achieve his wish of becoming the world's best boxer, you play the sparring minigames. Side note, there's also a main quest in the game that forces you to guess or make a tally outside of the game of how many collectibles you have, and if you don't have enough, it makes you recollect 50 of them all over again. Good game design. Once all the islanders' wishes have been granted except for Hikari, you can take her to the edge of the island to grant the final wish. Depending on your actions, either Hikari will knock you out and sacrifice herself for you to escape the island, or you'll knock her out and allow her to escape. If you get the first ending, then it shows a slideshow of Nick returning to his country and fighting crime again, and if you get the second ending, then Nick will stay on the island and all the other islanders will return. With this being one of the few Nintendo-published Wii games that never left Japan, many begged Nintendo to release the game worldwide. Due to the game's suggestive content and strange themes though, Nintendo decided not to localize the game. Those who hoped that the game would be published on the Wii U eShop were once again disappointed when it never came out in any region on the platform. Nowadays, the only way to play the game is to either get a used copy and play it on a Japanese/modded Wii with the English patch, or pirate it and play it on an emulator. Is Captain Rainbow even worth playing in 2023 though? Well, to be honest, unless you're a big fan of Nintendo games and Nintendo history, then no. That's not to say that Captain Rainbow isn't a unique game, or that it's terrible, it's just a game that only appeals to a very small subsect of people. If you're still interested in the game, I'd recommend just downloading the game and trying it for yourself. Nintendo or Skip don't make any money from the game anymore, so there's no harm in just downloading a copy from the internet. And that was Captain Rainbow. While I only delved into the surface of what the game has to offer, I feel it's best if you're still interested to check it out for yourself. If you're a big fan of Nintendo games, then you'll probably find some enjoyment in Captain Rainbow and discovering the secrets of the island. And if not, this video and other videos on the game should be enough. This is the point of the video where I beg for likes and subscribers, so if you feel like it, make sure to do those two things. Until next time.
Thank you, you fucking worthless humans, for the views.